Hello there, Gia.
Hello, Keisha. Happy
How are
Monday.
you? Yeah, happy Monday to you.
Yeah, I'm all right. I watched two hospitals today. I watched one in the morning from Friday and one
Mm-hmm.
later in real time. So I feel pretty
Yeah.
hospitaled out.
Yeah, I also watched two today. I also feel
Mm.
hospitaled out.
It's a
And
commitment, man, when you've got to
it,
catch
it
up on
is.
them.
It's a relationship with the
Yeah.
same highs and lows that a relationship might have, I
And I'm
suppose.
gonna confess that during today's episode, I was also
Hello?
ordering things on Amazon. Oh, did you lose me?
Uh, yeah, you cut out for you just came back. Are you there?
Okay. Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. All right. What were you saying?
I was just confessing that during today's episode, I was also shopping on Amazon
Well, I don't like to hear that,
for
Gia.
important things.
Yeah,
And
sure. But anyway, okay. Well, um, what I
sometimes
was
it's a
gonna.
long, tedious episode and you got to multitask.
Well, I know, but I hate to have you plug Amazon on the blog.
Oh,
Um,
I'm sorry. I was shopping just online casually. I don't know
there you
where.
go. There you go. That's
Yeah.
better. That's better.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, what I was gonna say was that I feel like we should be a little bit insulted by how General
Bye.
Hospital is treating us lately.
Okay. Do you care to elaborate a little bit?
Well, I just think they must. I mean, I know we're stupid. We've established that, but
Sure.
but it feels like the level of absurdity in this particular storyline that they have
Are we
going on.
talking about the Greenland adventure?
Yeah, it's just
Okay.
becoming. It's just like it's so dumb. I mean, it's just so dumb. I almost feel like, let's just, shop online while this is going on and then we'll see what happens because it just seems so stupid.
But isn't it in the tradition of all their stupid adventures that they used to have? I
I
mean, maybe we're
feel
just not we haven't had one of those in a while.
and I think there's a reason for that. I don't think just because they've had a stupid thing like this in the past means they should do it again, you know?
Yeah, I know, but I just figure that like I don't enjoy that, but I figure there must be people that do or they wouldn't keep
I
doing
don't
it.
know. I don't know. I don't think so. I feel like I don't know what's going on with the writers, but it seems like probably there was a couple of generations of people who wrote for soap operas who really sort of understood, how they worked and stuff like that and how you pace
Yeah.
stories and things like. And now I feel like maybe we've reached a time where you just don't have those same writers anymore, you know? I
Maybe
mean, and
they're outsourcing or something, or they've got
or, or
labor
maybe it's
problems like
just
everybody
like
else.
yeah, I don't maybe it's just like sort of a lost art almost, like who really would want to write for a soap opera these days,
They should have it.
except for
You're
us.
Yeah, I was gonna say they should have a contest. You're always talking about contest winners, and
Yeah.
they could have
Yeah.
like a be don't be on the soap opera, don't be an actor,
Right.
but they could
Mhm.
have guest writers that came in,
Mhm.
and I mean, we've certainly generated some serious plot lines on this podcast alone,
That
and
are
we're
no
just two
more
idiots,
ridiculous than what they're
Yeah,
doing right now.
right. And we're just a couple of idiots. So imagine what a brain trust we've got out there with all the people
Yeah.
that watch
Yeah.
that probably are way better and more imaginative than we are that
Yeah, it
could
just
come up with
seems
some
like a
good stuff.
shame. It seems like with
Yeah.
these preposterous things going on, you don't have any memorable dialogue or anything. It just seems like it's just a throwaway kind of a thing,
Yeah,
and
it's
it's
just campy and
yeah.
and how do you I mean, not that it matters too much, but can Victor be salvaged as a character after something like this? I kind of doubt it.
Yeah, I don't think so. He's not really even a
Although
person anymore.
Although Liesel was salvaged after tying up Peter and doing that whole,
Yeah, that's
I
because
can't
I
remember
think
what
we
that
all knew underneath it all he was a dick.
he was a bad guy, yeah, maybe. But yeah, it
But
is ridiculous, and my objections to the Greenland story, have more to do, I think, with my usual problems. Do you know what I'm about to talk about? You probably do.
Well, I was gonna say like how they were dressed.
Oh, no.
They were saying, "Thank God we dressed warmly," and none of them
Oh, with
have
no
gloves.
hats and gloves. I know. Yeah. I mean, they don't even look like they're ready for Maine, let alone Greenland. You know,
I know. I know.
like they might be okay on a spring day in Boston, but but they're not Greenland prepared,
No, sir.
from what
No,
I've
no,
heard
they're
about
not.
Greenland.
What were you gonna
No,
say?
I was going to say that I am just so annoyed by the dumb duo of Curtis
Oh
and
God. And what's his
Drew.
name? Drew. I know. I
I
know.
don't lump Valentine in there with them yet.
No, no, he's his own separate category of
He
stupid.
also kind of stupid. But okay, so we've got Laura. She's the mayor. She's
Yep.
the one who has had the most experience with all the
Yes.
Cassidines.
Yes.
All of the
Yes.
Cassidines.
She
Has
knows
battled them
probably
all
more
in the
than
light.
anybody else, right?
Yeah. As she was pointing out, she's been battling them since she was Trina's age.
Yes.
And yet, who takes over the mission?
I know these
Who's telling
douches.
everyone what to do? Those two douchebags.
I
Pardon my
know.
language. Look what you've done to me.
Well, but don't you think that's the only word you can use at this point?
Right today, apparently, that's what I'm using. But I'm so
Yeah.
annoyed with them trying to direct the action.
Yeah.
And, I don't know. I just feel like,
Yeah, yeah.
is that mansplaining? Are
Yeah, I
we
was
being
gonna say Drew
mansplained?
and Drew engaged in some mansplaining just when he was talking about like why they parked the boat where they parked it. It's like,
Yeah, yeah.
God,
I
that's
was like,
all
oh
you
my.
do.
And I felt like if anybody's going to get anything done, they need to be listening to Laura. You
Yeah.
know,
Uh-huh.
I mean, Valentine's proven over and over again he is not up to the spy work.
Isn't he the one who dropped the phone?
Was that what that was? I couldn't see. I was like, is
Yeah.
that a gun or is that
Yeah.
And then what did they hear? Like, did
They
somebody
heard the
like,
phone ringing because Holly was calling. Was it
oh, I
Holly?
couldn't
Yeah.
hear it. I thought somebody like
Yeah.
tooted or something behind the rock. And I was like, what?
Farted.
Yeah.
See, that would have been better. If we're gonna go like totally farcical, let's have them all gassy behind the rocks.
Fartsicle. That's what it would be. And don't get me started on Holly. Like, okay, there. I mean, I guess we were supposed to be reveling in some sort of old school stuff with she and Anna and Robert and kind of enjoying that. But there's something, and I don't mean to pick on her. If this is
I
a
know.
product of her illness that she can't
Right.
really deliver a
Right.
sentence more than sort of one halting word at a time with the big eyes and the eyebrows, like a mile high. And
I think that probably is part of the explanation, but I agree. It's kind of it's
it's
difficult.
painful. It's
Yeah.
painful to kind of
Yeah.
endure.
But
And
then,
then
like her and Anna springing out of the bed. Well, springing, I probably shouldn't use that word because she's still like recovering from a deadly gunshot wound. But
right,
sure,
right.
sure, go to
Sure, she's up.
Greenland.
Yeah.
Of
Yeah,
course
that
you're
makes
gonna.
sense.
They
The
all
only
think.
thing that was a good idea was, once again, don't take Robert, like
I know. That should become like a running joke, like even just
yeah.
when they're going to the movies or something. No,
Yeah, like,
Robert, you
don't,
better
Robert's
stay
not up
home.
to it. Yeah, we need you at home, Robert. You're so important here at home on the home front.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, I enjoyed Scotty a little bit, but
a
I think
little bit.
part of why Holly's speech is so painful is that Anna is so very fluid in her
Yeah,
speaking, and it
yeah.
really highlights
Right.
Holly's
There's a
sort of
contrast there.
issue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I mean, although
Yeah.
Holly is as ineffective as Valentine at getting anything done in the spy world, but she
Mhm.
talks a good game. She
Yeah.
sounds like she knows the lingo.
Yeah, yeah, that's true, sure, using all the correct jargon and stuff,
Yeah. So there,
but
that
now
all that is irritating. And look, you've put me in a bad mood about General
I'm
Hospital.
sorry, I just, like,
Mm.
it just it just kills me that this is what's happening, and, it seems like I don't know if they're gonna win over any new fans with stuff like this, you
Do you
know?
think there's anybody in the world that could just start watching a soap opera today and get into it?
I think it happened to us, like, back when we first started. I think you'd have to, like, if you were a kid, like a high school kid, if you saw, like, Trina and Joss and, those
You
guys, I
might
think
you
you
might
might
be
think,
pulled in by the
"Yeah,"
younger.
but then you
Yeah.
see these old people freezing to death. Be like, yeah, I guess this isn't what I thought it was."
Oh, speaking of people not liking things on TV, I hate to report this to you.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
Okay, so you recommended Superstore, and I've been
Uh-huh.
enjoying it. I've watched, I don't know, 3 or 4 episodes.
Okay, good, uh-huh.
And so there was nothing on the other night, and I say to the old man, "Oh, let's try Superstore." This is that one that our friend, Keisha recommended.
Uh-huh.
And I'm
Oh.
trying to think which one it was. It was the one where the sort of security guard woman accused the woman of shoplifting, and they have her
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
quarantined in the office the whole time. And
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know. It was okay, but it wasn't terrifically funny. It was a little bit
Okay.
strained.
Uh-huh.
And the old man is like, "Well, another winner from Keisha,"
Oh, no.
dripping with sarcasm. Yeah. So,
Oh,
man,
geez,
you've
so you're
got your
never
work
gonna
cut
watch
out
that
with
again.
him. Well, I'll
Oh,
watch it, but he's like, I don't
wow.
know. You and he, as far as your tastes go, just don't like kind of line up.
Yeah, I
You and I
guess
have a
not.
Venn diagram where there's a little overlap, but
Little overlap, yeah, but not Rory,
mm,
huh? Oh,
I
well.
guess not. I don't know. And
Yeah.
I defended it and I said well, that wasn't a great one, but there's been some
Mhm.
pretty funny stuff.
Mhm.
But he's
Yeah,
bitter. I think he's predisposed. He's still carrying baggage from that Netflix experience with you.
I know.
And
That's what I get. That's what I get, Gia. Oh, well, I won't give any more recommendations. Don't
well, you can
worry.
give them to me, but I don't know if we can pinpoint what it is he's looking for in a show, unless it's basketball. We know that.
Yeah, he likes sports, he likes PBS.
Yeah, he likes. Yeah, I mean he's more serious. Like he likes
Mhm.
Nova.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
So that's probably not
he
gonna
would probably
overlap
watch
much with a
Nature
sitcom.
on PBS, but I get grossed out by all the like
Yeah.
close-ups of insects and stuff. Grosses me out. And they
Okay. All
like
right.
squishy noises. I don't like squishy noises.
That's interesting. Okay. All right.
I feel like they add noises when they're having like things chew on things or something like
Yeah,
that. That's
maybe. Well, they
yeah,
probably have a big amplifier or something near 'em.
probably hanging a mic over it or something. Yeah.
Yeah, one of those big fuzzy microphones.
Yeah. So mostly he doesn't like comedy, but like he loved The Great. Like we were both just like laughing our
Uh-huh.
butts off at The Great, which
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't
Oh,
know.
well. Well, that's fine, Gia. That's fine.
Rockford Files. That's one of
Yeah.
his faves.
That's old.
So, I
That's
know.
very old.
I know.
But, anyway,
Is it?
okay.
That's old. I
What?
just found it's old. Are you kidding?
Yeah. Yeah, it's kinda old,
Um,
Gia.
well,
Yeah.
anyway, I just I just was sad to tell you that, but I'll keep watching it. I'll give it a
Well,
chance.
if you want to, it's up to you, Gia. I don't wanna
No, I
force
I I
anybody to
was
watch anything.
enjoying the characters and
Uh-huh.
I finished
Y
up the season of Single Drunk Female, so I needed
Yeah.
something.
So you're looking for stuff still.
Yeah, yep.
Mhm. Okay.
Anyway, we can go back
Um,
to the hospital now. I'm just, TV in general, that's sort of the
sure,
purposes are.
sure. Well, we didn't talk about Nina and her,
Yeah. How are you feeling
her
about that?
crap. Well, I feel like she's an idiot, basically, you know? And also, I guess they set it up so that Ned would look a little more like a possible
Yeah, looking back.
culprit,
Yeah.
with
You
his
know what I thought you
recent
just
stuff.
said? They set it up so that Ned would look like a possum.
I don't know what that means, Gia.
No, I just misheard you, and I thought, Ned, that doesn't look like a possum particularly, but
Not really, no. But when he was all like preoccupied with Valentine, you
yeah, and
know,
he was
not
being a
not
jerk and everything. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So I
So
guess, but still, there was nothing really recently that would indicate he would have done anything like that. I thought
right.
that was
So that was
awful. That yeah, both
yeah.
Michael and Brooklyn thought he was
Right.
capable of that.
Right. And
You
pretty
know,
kind of shabby, quick writing to like now it's like now looking back, it's like, oh, that was the setup so that
uh
we
huh.
could believe that Ned might have, but yeah,
Yeah,
they didn't really
yeah.
lay any groundwork.
Not really, especially for I mean, for them, like for Michael and Brooklyn. They haven't seen anything recently
Not
in Ned's
recently,
behavior,
no.
you know?
No. Um,
So, it
and I would
seems,
think Carly's mind would go pretty quickly to Nina because she knows that
I would
Nina's
think
lurking
so.
around every corner
Yeah,
watching.
and it
Yeah.
always does. I mean, you
Yeah.
know, even when
Yeah.
like something small happened, she thinks it was Nina.
Yeah.
So,
So I like that once again Nina has just dug herself the biggest freaking
yeah,
hole and
such a
just
big hole.
jumped right in.
Yeah.
I like seeing her sort of squirm like that.
Yeah, I do too. I do
I mean,
too.
I don't know, Mike, it's gonna get tiresome if we have nothing but Carly and Nina pulling each other's hair,
That's
blonde hair
already
out, you know?
tiresome. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
already very tiresome.
But
Um,
if it causes some real problems between Nina and Sonny, I think that could be interesting.
it would have to, right?
Excuse me.
I mean, it would have to be
I would think
devastating.
that I would like to see a scene where Sonny says that he understands why she did it and where she's coming from, but nonetheless he cannot love her because she's damaged goods, you know?
But could he
And it
understand?
was a good ride or whatever it was he said to Brenda. Was that what he
Yeah,
said? It was a good
I
ride
think
or
so.
something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, but I don't think he could possibly understand why Nina did what she did.
Well, he knows she's wounded and needy and impulsive,
Yeah, but
you
that's not
know.
a reason. That's just like that's a description of who she is, you
Well,
know?
but she doesn't have impulse control, and that's why she does what she does.
But that's like then she's too much of a liability for him. If she can't control
Right,
herself
right.
at all,
Well, that too
then
in the business sense. Yeah, I didn't think of that.
yeah,
But I just
yeah.
thought it would be interesting for him to like, yes, I understand,
Mm.
but I can't be around you. I can't. You know what I mean? Like you can
Yeah.
understanding a drug addict's motives
Uh-huh.
for doing
Yeah.
things that are wrong, you can understand, but it doesn't make it any easier to be around them or to, you
Uh-huh.
know,
Yeah.
or that sort of a thing. So that would be interesting to really stretch the limits of Sonny's love for her.
Yeah, I think it already has been stretched pretty much, you know.
Well, I mean, he had to overcome her withholding um, his identity to Carly and his
Mhm.
family that
Yep,
whole time.
that's
He
a
did overcome that, but is there a breaking point?
definitely. Yeah, I think this is it. This is it.
You think so? You think it'll break him up? That'd be
Oh,
interesting.
definitely. I don't see how it couldn't.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Cuz I mean, because it so clearly hurts everybody and not just Carly. And even Drew, like she doesn't really have anything against Drew, right? Nina doesn't.
No, no,
So,
but she obviously, in her usual way, didn't think anything through. She just,
yeah. So it was just pure
yeah,
revenge. That was all it
yeah,
was.
yeah. She's what is the whole id, ego, and super ego?
Yeah, I never
Um,
could keep them straight.
I think she's all id.
Yeah. Okay.
Although, I mean, she was working on having a little. I don't know. I could be wrong on those, but
Yeah, me
anyway,
too.
the sort of childlike where it's just emotion.
Hmm.
Um,
Hmm. Yeah.
yeah, she just kind of missed out on some of the adult like executive thinking skills. Maybe
Yeah,
because she
and
was in a coma,
perhaps. I mean, I guess she does have stuff in her file that would help explain her behavior, but
I was reading about we watched an old movie. It was Buddy Holly story.
uh-huh.
With what the hell? What the hell? What's his name?
I want to say Lou
Blonde guy
Diamond.
with a big
Oh, blonde.
Busey, Gary Busey.
Oh, Gary Busey. That's right. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and he was so great in that role. He was really good, and so I was reading up on him because I was like, God, I've always taken him as a bit of a joke,
Mm-hmm.
just a character, just a like loudmouth, crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so I read that he had post doing that movie, I think years past, but anyway, he had a motorcycle accident, no helmet
Oh,
motorcycle accident,
uh-huh.
and a
Uh-huh.
head injury.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently, a lot of his impulsive behavior, they're crediting that head injury
Hmm.
with being the cause of a lot of his
Uh-huh.
issues later.
Sure, that makes
Um,
sense.
so we don't know what else is in Nina's file. Like, why was she in a coma? Her mother put her in a
Her
coma,
mother
right?
put her in a coma, yeah, and blamed like her husband at the time, who looked like Finn, right? Can't
Looked like
remember.
Finn, acted like Finn, but wasn't Finn.
Wasn't Finn,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I can't remember
Um,
either.
yeah, but still I don't think Nina can have it both ways. Like,
No, no, no. And I'm not saying that. I just wanted to work that information in.
sure, sure. But also, like it's interesting, that she could possibly think like calling the feds on Carly and insider trading, but turning a blind eye to whatever Sonny's got going on is gonna
Oh, yeah.
work.
She doesn't
You
care
know?
about insider trading. It's not, she's
No,
actually not,
no,
she's not trying to take some moral stand on what they did. She
no.
just simply
Mm-mm.
wanted her to be
Yeah.
punished for something.
Yeah, and it seems like, when Ava was having that argument with her, Ava really could have made it much more clear
Yeah,
that
yeah.
it was purely revenge.
Revenge, yeah.
Yeah. So
Um,
now what about Dex and the big box of explosives?
that was the tidiest, most cleaned up, like beautifully presented box I've ever seen. Like in a warehouse. It's perfectly clean. The wood was smooth, like the up sign had no blurry edges. You know how like usually those are
Yeah,
spray painted on and they're drippy,
right.
and it was
Trippy.
just it was picture perfect, that box. I don't know. I was deep in my online shopping during that whole scene, and
Okay.
I think the main takeaway from that was that Dex went through with the filming of it.
Yeah, and sent it to Michael.
Right.
He didn't even
And
seem to go back and forth that much.
no, but are we supposed to think that Brick has some impulse about Dex being up to something, or was that all just sort of, he was acting suspicious and he
Yeah.
walked in and, said something
Mhm.
about catching him or
Yeah.
whatever, but
Yeah.
it
I
kind of got
know.
explained away.
Right, right. It seemed like it was sort of like, just to kind of let Dex know that somebody was watching him, but not really.
Not not
I don't
not
know.
carefully enough.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. I guess. I don't know.
it was big of Brick that like the NBA playoffs are happening right now, so no wonder he's a little distracted. He's
Yeah,
busy,
maybe
really,
that's why he had to go. Yeah.
really busy.
Yeah, and also like Sonny's like, could you just take care of this? I got to get back to Nina. Like
Yeah,
seriously, this is like the most dangerous, most illegal thing you've ever done.
yeah,
You know?
yeah. And it's way worse than what you thought was coming. Even
Yeah,
so, I
and
don't know.
Sonny's got this thing against dealing drugs, but this kills people way more easily
Yeah.
than drugs. I don't. This kind of was a bummer for me to see that somehow he was okay with this.
Well, he didn't have any choice,
He
but
didn't
yeah,
have a
he
choice
was
unless
acting
he had,
pretty nonchalant about it
yeah,
all.
unless he had figured out like just how to, turn the tables on the other guys. I don't know, but he didn't seem to really
He didn't. Yeah.
put much effort into that.
Yeah. Yeah, so I don't know.
So
I was disappointed that Dex didn't change his mind.
me too.
But
Me
then, yeah,
too.
you're right. Sonny was very nonchalant. I was chalant as hell myself. But
Well, and now it's up to Michael to decide if he's gonna sort of, think about
right.
it for a little while.
And Willow's been pushing the whole Sonny thing right down his throat, like, so
Yeah.
that shows that Sonny really cares about us.
And
Um,
also now he's got like his mom under investigation. Does he want his dad to be under investigation too?
yeah, that's true. Does he care about his younger siblings at all?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd hope so.
It's
Hmm.
hard to say what Michael can do or will do. He's under a great deal of stress right now as well.
They could they maybe use the recording like with Sonny's like knowledge to turn in the other guys somehow?
Ooh, that's a good idea. If you're listening, General Hospital writers, that's a way out.
I don't know. I don't know about that. Also, I was thinking usually when somebody like Carly is, I don't know, in some kind of legal trouble. Remember in the past, they always used to use her as a way to get to Sonny.
Yeah.
And that just doesn't seem to be happening this time. And I'm not sure why not.
Well, because they'd use
But,
Nina instead, wouldn't they? They'd know that.
well, they don't know the tip came from Nina. But usually, like, they would like try to make some deal with Carly to get something on Sonny or something like that. The
Oh, I
feds
see what
would,
you. Yeah,
you
yeah.
know.
Okay.
It seems
Yeah.
like that has happened in the past, and I don't
Yeah.
know.
Mm.
But
I don't
anyway,
know.
I
You've
don't
put a
know.
lot more thought into this than I have, I think.
Well,
And
I
more
guess I
power
have.
to you. More power
I
to
don't
you.
know. I don't know. It's none of it's as interesting as like just the sort of basic human drama that,
Right, right.
we have,
Um,
I don't think. But
yeah, the Willow stuff, and
the
and
Willow
Willow's
stuff and
still looking fabulous. I guess
yeah,
it's the
so it's hard to be that
hair and makeup.
anxious,
Yeah,
like I guess Liesel could take a couple weeks off, and Willow might
yeah,
be fine. I
yeah.
don't
We
know.
weren't led to believe that before. She was barely
No,
able
we
to hold
weren't.
her head
Yeah.
up, and
Yeah, I
suddenly she's
know.
she's
So
rallying.
she sure is. I guess she's
Bit
drinking some very powerful smoothies or something.
Red Bull probably
Red Bull, yeah.
gives you wings.
That's a good idea, Gia. Maybe that's it.
I've never had a Red Bull.
Oh,
Um,
gross. They're gross.
they're gross, but do they work? Like, do you just buzz around and get everything done?
I don't think I ever have buzzed around. But no, they just taste so like they were cooked up in a lab, they taste very
Sure.
artificial chemically.
Did you ever used to take no-dos?
Nope. Nope.
Nope. We took
Mm-mm.
no-dos in high school. We thought we were cool. We'd take no-dos during study hall, and it was like our dangerous side coming out, Like,
During study hall.
yeah. It
Edgy.
just gave you a rotten headache, really, was basically
Yeah.
what it
Yeah.
did. Yeah.
Cool.
I know. We were so cool.
Yeah.
So cool.
Oh,
Um, I
jeez.
wanted to
Mhm.
talk a little bit about the whole principles argument that you and I are constantly having.
Okay, go ahead.
You
Sure.
know, do you
Mhm.
know to what I refer?
Um,
That was hard for you to
mm,
understand that sentence, wasn't it?
well, it was about the being judgmental versus
Yeah,
principled.
yeah. Principle. Like, I think I always tend to come down on the side of like, don't have principles. Go with the flow. And you're more principled. And anyway, I just wanted to tell you I had a reaction where I feel like I'm more on the side of principles.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
And it's because of a book that you sent me, and I'm sure you probably didn't read it, but you
Probably
might
not.
remember.
Okay.
It's called The Plot
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
by
Okay.
Jean
Ha-
Hunt Corlett.
Correlates. Uh huh.
Corlett. Yeah, I don't even know if it's a man or woman. Let's look.
I think
It's a
it's a
woman.
woman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um. Anyway, so the general part of it was I didn't like it initially because it was so like you and I were in an MFA writing program together. That's where we
Mm-hmm.
met, in fact.
Yeah.
And so a lot of it was like the main character is this man who is teaching in a kind of a loser MFA program, and he's a loser. He's
Uh-huh.
had a novel that
Uh-huh.
had some acclaim, but then he's had like he just barely got a second one out, and it was crappy, and then
Yeah.
he can't even
Yeah.
get anybody to look at his other ones,
Uh-huh.
and he's just like poking along, just barely
Yeah.
getting by, and he hates doing the teaching, and he hates the students, and
Right. Right. Yeah.
he has this one asshole student that's like, I'm just here to make connections. I don't think I can teach writing, and I have the most amazing plot for a
Uh-huh.
novel, and it's going to be, Oprah
Uh-huh.
worthy. It's going to be a movie. It's huge. There's no way it can't make it.
Uh-huh.
Um, and the guy's like just trying his best to like, keep him from being obnoxious the entire time. And
Yeah.
anyway, they have to have like student teacher meetings, and all of this is
Yeah.
bringing back all this cringy shit about our past, and all the cringy shit that the writing life and everything. And I was just
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
it's all like, it makes me want to throw up in my mouth. And, um, so anyway, the kid, this obnoxious, sort of preppy blonde kid, shows up for the meeting with the guy, and he sort of presses him. He's like, he showed him a couple pages of the writing, and he's
Uh-huh.
like, he's a good writer. It's good
Yeah.
writing, but he's like, there's not much here. So unless you are going to tell me more, I don't know how I can help you. I don't know how we can go. And so the guy
Yeah.
gives up the plot for the story,
Uh-huh.
but we don't know it. We don't know the plot.
Okay. Okay. Uh-huh.
But the guy is like, he's right. This is going to be huge. There's no way this
Oh,
won't make
uh-huh.
it. And
Uh-huh.
then years go by, and we come back to the guy, the main character. Years have gone
Uh-huh.
by, and he's gotten even more sad sack and despicable, and he's just barely. He's like doing
Uh-huh.
online consultations and whatever.
Yeah.
He's just such a sad sack. And
Mhm.
um, I accidentally hears that student. He always wonders what happened. Why did he never see that book?
Yeah.
And he finds an obituary for the guy.
Oh,
He's
uh-huh.
passed away. And so
Right.
then we
Right.
fast forward again, and he has
Yeah.
stolen the plot and written the
Yep.
novel
Yep. Uh-huh.
himself. And now
Okay.
I'm about halfway through, and he's getting these disturbing like emails and tweets and things about, you're a thief, you're a plagiarist, I'm going to expose you to the whole world, and blah blah. And in the
Huh.
meantime, his life has, of course, he's on book tours, he's
Right.
been in
Right.
movies,
Yeah.
he's gotten married, everything, and
Mhm.
and I just hate him so much. I just hate him. And I'm having no sympathy, and
Yeah.
I don't know, and I like almost don't even want to read the rest of the book,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Interesting. The
And I
reason
feel like
well,
that's a
yeah, go
reaction that you probably would have had, because of course he shouldn't have stolen the plot. Although
right.
you know, you can't really like copyright a plot, or
Well,
I don't know. I don't know what. And then we're
it
getting little chapters of the book that he wrote himself with this stolen plot. So I guess
uh-huh.
eventually we'll find, and I can't imagine what sort of twist they're going to have that's going to make us believe that it would be that phenomenal.
Right.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
but they're
Huh.
making references to, I can't think of the guy's name. Frey? Was it Frey? That was like on Oprah
Oh, yeah, yeah,
wrote
James
something.
James
Was it
Fry, who wrote a million
Fry?
little
Yeah.
pieces.
Was that
Yeah.
what it was? And what was it?
Yeah.
Like, did he make up a memoir? I can't remember,
Yeah, I
but,
think so, yeah. Yeah.
and he got
Mhm.
eviscerated in the public eye
A little bit.
a little
Yeah.
bit. So it's got a lot of contemporary stuff
Uh-huh.
going on. But
Hmm.
anyway, I thought you would be proud of me.
Well, yeah, I think I probably would be right there with you and hate the guy, but I'm wondering if you hate him because he reminded you of our teachers in our MFA program.
Well, you reminded them of me, of myself, just that feeling like you're such a loser and you have no talent and there's no way you're ever going to, and you're just, and I mean, I do have a loser life, I guess, but had I gone further down that path, I would have had probably a very similar trajectory of,
Yeah.
talentless flailing.
I wouldn't say that, Gia.
But
But the
it's so
teaching
cringy.
writing workshops for a living, that seems like that would be like a certain kind of hell.
Yeah, and just the platitudes and the
Yeah.
like
I remember when I was teaching briefly a workshop when we taught together up here in Maine, I had to
now that
fill in
was
for.
just fun though, right?
Well, I thought so. I mean, it was definitely more fun than teaching like first, freshman English. But one young woman had written a story about a kid who gets abandoned in a parking lot in a park and gets adopted. And I was like, this is just like a movie I saw on TV. And she said, yeah, I saw that
Oh,
movie. And it's like, well, then this isn't actually a story. This is a stolen,
well,
you
it's a
know,
story, but it's somebody else's
yeah, I mean,
story.
it was like, yeah, it was
Mm.
kind of like, wow, where do I begin to talk about how you just can't
Yeah,
do that? So that was a little bit of a blow,
a little dicey. Yeah. Mm.
but anywho, yeah, where were we,
Anyway,
Gia?
I don't know. It speaks more to my issues with myself, I think, than anything else. But, and I just have like, why do I have this hatred of people who are trying to live a creative life? And it makes me cringe and throw up and everything. When all I want is for somebody to tell me stories all day and all night. Like
Yeah.
that's all
Mhm.
I'm doing is,
Mhm.
watching this story or reading that story,
Mhm.
and yet I
Yeah.
despise the people that are doing it for some reason.
Well, probably not all of them, just the ones we know.
No, and that's not even true. Like I admire. There's people that we knew in our program that did come
Yeah.
to some success, and I don't despise them at all. But
Yeah.
when I despise that part of myself or something. I don't
Huh.
know. I've got
Yeah.
problems. I've got issues, man.
Well, sure. I think we've established that we both have some big issues,
But
lots of
anyway, I guess I
problems.
can forgive people who kind of like skate around in the gray areas of life on soap
Yeah.
operas.
Yeah.
But this guy in this novel, I just despise him.
Uh-huh. Huh.
And so I don't know what the
Okay.
difference is, but I
I
can't
don't
I'm
know
having
either.
no sympathy for this
Hmm.
loser. I'm like, yeah, you better be
Yeah.
sweating right now. It's.
Yeah. Well, that's interesting because
So
that's like all of those books that take place in that academia sort of world, that little like insulated world. A lot of them have that similarity of the sad sack teacher, the
yeah,
cocky student who drives them fucking crazy,
yeah.
and just reminds them of what a big loser they are.
Yeah, maybe that's it. I don't know. I don't
Because
know.
I was
But
telling you about that show Lucky Hank that's on TV, and it's based on Richard Russo's book Straight Man, which is also about a professor who has a student who makes him miserable. And when you were describing that book, I was like, "Oh my God, did
is
Richard?
it
Which
plagiarized from
came
that
first?"
book?
I think Straight Man came before the plot, but
Well,
and
and
there
that's just
wasn't.
a very small part of the beginning of the book. That's really just
Mhm.
kind of sets the whole thing in motion. But
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Hmm.
anyway, I don't know. I'll let you know how it turns out. I'll finish it, but I
There
kind of
was
come
also
to it with gritted teeth. I'm like, ugh, God,
yeah.
no,
Yeah. There was a book by William Kotzwinkle. I forget what it's
that's
called. I'll
quite
have.
a name.
Yeah.
Cotswinkle.
And it's about a guy writes a book that's, amazing. And then somehow, I don't know what happens. He leaves the manuscript for the book somewhere in the woods and a bear finds it.
Yeah,
And the
and
bear gets it published and becomes like the toast of the town.
the bear gets it published.
Yeah, it's really
Okay.
funny. Yeah, it was a funny
Huh.
book, but so similar, same sort of thing. I wish I could
Well,
remember what it was
yeah,
called.
that sounds like quite a bit more whimsical. Like that,
Yeah,
I
it
might
was
actually
whimsical.
enjoy.
I think you would
This is
enjoy
driving
it.
me nuts. This is setting my teeth on edge.
The Bear Went Over the Mountain, 1996.
Oh,
Yeah,
maybe
that's a
I
good
did
one.
read that. That's sounding very familiar.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you might have,
you
but
probably gave
anyway,
it to me. I mean,
maybe,
you've given me so
maybe.
many books, which is lovely. But
Well,
um,
we have those big sale book tables at the bookstore, so I always
yeah,
try to pick through those, and that's
try
where
to
the
help
plot was.
people out. All right. I mean,
Um,
it's very well written, obviously, and I'm right in it. But
yeah, yeah. But
Anyway.
yeah, I could see why it would have been
I
tough.
don't know if I can circle this back to General Hospital so we can just
Yeah, well, did we
take a
leave
hard
anything
turn.
big out?
Mm, we had like little wedding remainder stuff. We had
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Sonny,
I don't think there was much
yeah,
left.
probably not much else left.
Yeah.
Poor
Oh, we
Scotty.
had a
We didn't
little
mention poor Scotty being knocked out. That was kind of mean.
right, and Scotty and Portia had their little conversation.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. That was all
Um,
right.
it was all
Mhm.
right. It wasn't like top-notch Scotty. He didn't have much to
No,
work with there.
no, but
But anywho,
it was a
yeah.
Monday. A Monday's a
Yeah,
Monday. What are you gonna
yeah.
do?
I don't know, Gia. I don't know what's going to happen with this stupid Greenland thing.
It's really getting you down, huh?
It
More
is.
so
I
than
just feel
me.
like they're just
Is it
like
the rock? Do you not like that fake rock that they're like
I know. First, the set.
or
The set is
iceberg
so.
or whatever it is?
They have all these like random little rocks,
Yeah, yeah.
on this, and it's. I don't know what I was going to look up the climate of Greenland at this time of year to see what they would be facing,
See
but
if
I
they're
didn't
being
do that.
accurate. Yeah.
Yeah, I figured. Why do you want to do that to yourself? But
I don't know. Maybe my standards were lowered because I keep catching different Planet of the Apes movies, and
yeah. So maybe
the
this is sort
standards
of
are pretty low on those for
maybe
a lot of
that
stuff.
you're more comfortable with this kind of thing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The one I watched the other day just degenerated into like there was, you couldn't even make a thread of sense out of the endings. Like, huh? They'd say like, huh? Just a bomb. That's all. They were
Yeah.
worshiping a bomb and they blew the whole thing up. And then the one
Wow.
that comes after that, they have to do a little, like, I'm wondering if the franchise was going to end, and then they're like, oh my God, people love this. And so they had to do some of this little time travel thing
Uh-huh.
to like, go back before that bomb so they could have another
Oh, I
story.
see. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Uh-huh. Hmm.
because everybody loved those monkeys.
Those monkeys. Yeah.
Was good stuff.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I don't know. I mean, part of what's not working is just the urgency of getting Liesel back is,
Yeah,
it's not as
yeah.
strong a pull because Willow seems to be thriving right
Willow's,
now.
yeah. Or else just the makeup artists are that good, and we need to get a hold of some of
But
that stuff.
if she's not going to pass out or lose a couple of teeth or maybe have her hair fall out in clumps, then I'm just not going to be able to believe that
I
she's
know she's not selling it anymore. She
yeah,
was like that day they made her look like a
yeah.
ghoul.
I know. She should really only be getting worse, right?
You'd think. I mean, I
Yeah.
haven't Googled enough about that to know. Like maybe you have
Yeah,
little
but
peaks and valleys. I don't know.
maybe, but I don't know. Seems
Well,
like there's
anyway,
plenty of stress to make her, just continue to decline,
you'd
really.
think so. But I
If
know
her
you're gonna keep watching. This isn't the end
Nope,
for
this
you.
is it, Gia. You're on your own.
Would
Yeah,
I
you're
go
right.
on my own? I don't know. I don't really know.
I'll keep
Probably.
watching, Gia. I
Okay.
like when we have like good writing and great like
Yeah.
conversations and stuff,
I know, and I feel like, are we ever going to get back to the Nicholas storyline? Like,
Yeah, there's
what the
stuff like
hell?
that. Yeah, a lot of people are just sort of hanging out on the
What the hell?
sidelines.
What the hell? I'm
Yeah.
stuck in this meme. Have you seen that? It's like a video that's been made into a million different videos, but of this little toddler who says, "What the hell? What the hell? What the hell?" And the mother
Yeah.
keeps saying, "Don't say that. Don't say that." And the kid just louder and louder. It's like, "What the hell? What the hell?"
Jeez. Haven't seen it, but I guess
And
I
now
don't
you
need
feel
to.
like you've seen it. Well, and then
I
it's been
do.
reused over and over, and like there'll be this dachshund saying, "What the hell? What the hell?"
Ah,
Or
okay.
whatever.
Uh-huh.
So it's
Uh-huh.
got a
I
lot of
see.
iterations.
Okay. All
Did I use
right.
that properly?
I think you did, Gia. Yeah, well done.
Woo! Uh,
Hmm.
anyway, I'm stuck on it.
Anyway,
I keep
yeah, that'll
saying it.
happen.
I'll let it go soon though.
Okay. All right,
Okay.
Gia.
Anyway, we covered a lot of ground, some of it about
Yeah.
General Hospital.
Some of it about General Hospital.
Maybe a
Yep.
modicum, maybe a tiny dash of skosh of it was interesting even. I'm not sure.
Maybe, but yeah.
Maybe.
Hmm,
Pushing it.
maybe.
Pushing it.
Pushing it. Yep. All
Got
right,
to
Gia.
push it. Push it. Okay.
Well,
All right. Well, let's talk in a few days, and probably it'll be
yeah.
better by then. Okay.
Yeah, we'll see what they give us to work with.
All right. Okay.
Okay, Gia.
All right. You
You
have a
have a good
lovely
one.
evening.
All righty. Bye-bye.
Okay. See ya.